With the new year underway, I'm determined to capture plenty of action on the rails. Starting out on the evening of New Year's Day, my first train, of course, was captured at night. CSX train Q582 departs Atlanta heading northbound with CM44AH 7201 leading. The 7201 is a rebuilt AC 4400 CW, previously numbered 207. These new engines now have an updated cab on the inside, as well as new software with a trip optimizer and PTC, or positive train control. CSX had just started releasing these engines towards the end of 2019, but this was my first time laying eyes on one. Now, I just need one in daylight. Moving to Marietta, meeting up with my friend John Chapman, we caught CSX train Q583, having an original AC 4400 CW leader, as well as one of the new CM44 ACs, and 3 brand new NREX units all wrapped up. Of course, just as we were fixing to leave, Q142 approached the square heading northbound with a 1x1 engine setup, one up front and one pushing on the rear. Moving on to January 3rd, I set out to Decatur, Georgia, with reports of a CSX SD50 leading train Q198. As long as I have lived in the Atlanta area, I've never shot a train on the YYG main. I figured this would be the perfect opportunity. But after doing a little switching work at Halsey, they swapped the power around. The SD50 apparently had a few issues, such as the wiper blade breaking off completely and not having any dynamic brakes. CSXT ET44AH 3392 now leads Q198 as they proceed eastbound, railroad southbound towards Augusta, and eventually onto Savannah. Q197 and Q198 are the only guaranteed through mainline trains to be seen now on the Georgia Road, with the exception of locals in the area and a few oddball coal trains. But there's not much left to be seen. I had just gotten off work at 0730 on January 4th. There were two trains of interest that I would hope to capture for the day. I'm waiting in Marietta for the first one, train K492, ethanol empties out of Lawrenceville, Georgia, heading back to UP Trackage in Proviso, Illinois. They had UP CWM 44AC 7064 at the lead. I had no choice but to shoot this one on my iPhone. I then rushed home to get my camera gear and set back out towards the SG Main for train K494, bringing in loads out of Proviso for TDSI in Lawrenceville. They had an original, unrebuilt UP-AC 6000 CW engine at the lead, which was nice to see in the current year. From Lenox Road, I chased them north towards Tucker to hopefully get them again. But the weather was my only other worry, as rain was in the forecast for the rest of the day. I somehow barely beat them to the north end of Tucker, and of course, as the train was approaching, Mother Nature decided to pour buckets of rain on me. course, it's after the train passes when the rain simmers down a little bit. But that was it for me. From here, we skip to January 7th, where we see train K423 heading south on the coastline, approaching CP South Bellwood. CP AC44CW 9605 was at the lead, followed by BNSF ES44C4 4275 and CSX ES44AH 997. January 8th. I'm waiting to pick up a CSX crew as NS50A heads south passing CP King Plow.
Clear Elizabeth, track 1 north, Q142.
After work, my buddy David Weathers, also known as the Weatherman, was conductor on Q142. I waited for them at North Elizabeth and was surprised to hear a hybrid K5HL horn on the lead engine.
North Elizabeth, Q142. You look good on Elizabeth there.
Thanks for the shout out, Weatherman. Q142 runs daily out of Jacksonville, Florida, bound for North Baltimore, Ohio, running via Chattanooga and Nashville, Tennessee, Louisville, Kentucky, and Cincinnati, Ohio. Moving to January 9th, I was just passing through Dallas, Georgia. Having the radio on, I hear NS-215 close by, and wait for them to approach the quiet town at the Johnston Street grade crossing. NS-215 runs out of Chicago, Illinois daily, journeying across the country to Atlanta, Georgia. Thanks to the engineer for the friendly toot on the horn. Then on the 12th, after finishing a nice Mexican dinner with a few friends, CSX C710 was approaching the city of Acworth. C710 is an international intermodal train that runs between Fairburn and Chatsworth for the Appalachian Regional Port. On January 15th, I catch CSX Q211 heading north on the SG Main, passing Howell Yard with CW40-8 7883 at the lead. On the 18th, I was heading towards home from downtown Atlanta when I heard CSX Q542 close by. They are seen going by Marietta at the Mill Street grade crossing. Q542 runs daily out of Waycross, Georgia, and works Doghouse Yard in Union City, Georgia, North Yard and Wyvern Yard in Cartersville, Georgia, and Etowah, Tennessee along the way, eventually reaching its termination point in Cincinnati, Ohio. January 20th. I set out onto the NS Greenville district as I capture train 118 approaching CP Carolina with a very funky P5 horn on the leader. Going in chronological order by date, this was the last 118 I captured before being abolished. 118 ran out of Brosnan Yard in Macon, Georgia, carrying mixed manifest bound for Linwood, North Carolina. The train I had originally set out to capture was already close to Atlanta. NS211 had 3 rebuilt motors for power, 2 SD70 ACCs, previously standard cab SD70s, and an AC44 C6M, previously a D9-44 CW. Luckily, I was able to capture them going by McCaslin Street. .211 is a hot UPS intermodal train running out of Rutherford, Pennsylvania. They had gotten permission to cross the CSX at Howell Tower into the number 3 thoroughfare track at Inman Yard. Now nearing the end of the month, I had just received my new iPhone 11 Pro Max, and from what I've heard, the image quality on this camera is amazing. This was my first official test video with CSX Local A716 heading northbound in Union City. I'm very impressed with how this clip turned out. But now, moving forward to January 29th, CSX K442 heads northbound by Pine Street with a very unique consist. A rare CSX SD50-3 number 8619 was at the lead, followed by an SD9-40CW 9633 and a CEFX Leaser AC44CW number 1043. The train is seen just departing Atlanta, heading for the next crew change point in Chattanooga, eventually reaching Bensonville, Illinois. My last train captured for the month of January ended up being a short one. Here at Wheeland Interlocking in Chattanooga, where the CSX WNA subdivision crosses the old NS River line, train W003 is seen heading northbound, one of CSX's geometry inspection trains. Thanks for watching today's video. Don't forget to hit that like button and please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. So long from Chattanooga, Tennessee at milepost OWNA 137.8 along CSX's WNA subdivision.